Come on in for the conversation. Just typing. Welcome everyone in. This is a TriCast. I'm TriCasting on YouTube, Facebook Live, and LinkedIn. So if you are new to the conversation, we want to welcome you. And if you are returning, we want to welcome you back. We have some psychoanalyzing to do today. So Happy New Year. Want to say Happy New Year to you. New year, same old BS. So right now, if you are wanting to communicate and talk to me, you might be giving me feedback on another platform, but I will eventually see it. You can also text me. Text me at 214-919-9360. And then I can get it immediately. So welcome again. You know, sometimes it takes a few minutes for the live stream to sync up and everything. So that's why I didn't jump right into it. But again, you're watching the video version of my journal. I'm Steffanie Rivers. Now, if you haven't heard about the latest Karen, she's SoHo Karen. Last time I checked, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office was still trying to locate the woman we're calling SoHo Karen. SoHo Karen's government name is Maya Pacetto. She's a 22-year-old woman. And what I'm going to do is just briefly give you some background information while I try to share my screen. SoHo Karen is a woman, 22-year-old Maya Pacetto. She accused a 14-year-old Black teenager of stealing her iPhone in a hotel lobby in Manhattan a few days ago. So I'm going to try to show you her picture. Hopefully you're seeing SoHo Karen. A picture of her on the left is without the mask, and then the picture on the right is the unmasked version of Maya Pacetto. Again, she's 21 years old, and she wrongly accused a 14-year-old boy of stealing her iPhone. So it happened a couple of days ago in Soho at the Arlo Hotel, in the Arlo Hotel lobby. Also, one of her social media friends confirmed that the picture that we saw of her in the mask, I don't know if you've seen the video, but I'm about to show it to you. Essentially, SoHo Pacetto, that's what I'm going to call SoHo Karen, since we know her real name, Maya Pacetto. SoHo Pacetto physically assaulted the teenager when he and his father refused to show her their iPhone as she demanded it, and they started to leave the Arlo Hotel lobby where it all went down. Now, let me say they had no obligation to show anybody their phone. But essentially, she asked to see the phone because she accused them of stealing her phone. So if you haven't seen the video, here it is. And if you've seen the video, you're going to see it again. So let me show you the video. Let me turn up. Oh, well, there's no audio of it. So let me show you. Now, you might have seen the first part of the video. There were two camera shots. One was of the initial altercation where she was trying to get them to stop and show her the phone. Then this is the second altercation where she actually tackled the 14-year-old. It's only a few. Oh, Lord, my light. Let me move my light out of the way. And that's Miss Pacetto. I'm going to show it to you again. She tackles the teenage boy. He's in the red hat. She tackles him. And that's Miss Maya or Mia Pacetto. Now, I'm going to put my light back up. It's a self-production here, self-production. So essentially, what happened was she was in an Uber and she lost her phone. But she didn't think, any logical person, we've all had 99% of the people who have in the world who have a cell phone have misplaced it at some point. And so when you do that, if you're not at home, there's a panic that comes over you because you're like, oh my God, where's my phone? I've got all this stuff in it and all the texts and everything and the pictures, some of y'all, the pictures. And so if you're not at home, you kind of panic. But a rational person, an even-tempered person would think, well, where's the last place I saw my phone? Where's the last place I used my phone? And that would lead you to believe or lead you to think back in your mind, okay, if you were Miss SoHo Pacetto, I was in the Uber. I probably left it in the Uber. But no, she's not a rational person. She's irrational. She started accusing people of stealing her phone right off the bat. And so if she was more rational, she could have saved herself the public humiliation that she is now experiencing and the possible assault charges, because as you saw, she tackled a 14-year-old boy because he refused to show her his phone. And so, or she could have even tried to ask someone, hey, can you call my phone number and see if it rings? You don't even have to accuse anyone of anything. Just see if the phone rings, or if it's on vibrate, does it vibrate? Just so many logical steps that could have been taken. But SoHo Karen, her government name is Maya Pacetto, she did not do that. So she immediately starts to accuse this 14-year-old boy of having her phone. Well, he happened to be with his father. And when she walks up saying, let me see your phone, is that my phone? Automatically, you're putting people in a defensive mode because you are accusing them of having your phone. So she, the father, rightfully so, did not acquiesce to her demands to see the phone because they don't have to, because that wasn't their phone. That wasn't her phone. And so essentially they had just come down off the elevator because they were staying at the hotel. So they're coming off the elevator and then they're met with accusations of, hey, that's my phone. You took my phone. So first of all, she just started assuming that someone stole her phone. And because they were the Black people in the room, then, oh, you must have taken my phone. So in an interview with CNN, SoHo Karen, whose government name is Maya Pacetto, and then let me show you her picture again. It's going to come up. Well, I've got my lights and stuff, so you're not going to be able to see it because of the glare. But essentially, Miss SoHo Karen was interviewed by CNN about the incident. And first, the first lie, she told two lies. The first lie that she told, she said that it was not a racial thing, that she didn't just accuse the Black people in the room. She said, because I demanded that somebody else, before they came down, I demanded that he empty his pockets. So it wasn't about them. I was just trying to find my phone. That was a lie. And here's how I know it was a lie. because I don't believe that she randomly accused a white person of stealing her phone and made them empty her pockets. But now, if she did, and random white person, you're out there and you see this and you see her telling CNN that if you could come to SoHo Karen's rescue and save her from public humiliation and let us know that you are the random white person that she asked to empty his pockets because she thought you had her phone first. Go ahead and let it be known. But here's why I know that she's lying, because SoHo Karen gets other people to do her dirty work. So if you remember in the first video, the initial video that the father of the 14-year-old that he had on his cell phone, you saw SoHo Karen. She drafted the hotel manager into the scenario. And she did that by saying she was standing behind him and she said to him, I need you to get that phone. I need you to literally get that phone. And she backed off. So he could then take over and he could be the muscle. He could be the enforcer for her. So I know that she did not go to some random white guy and demand that he empty his pockets, because she's not that type of a person. She's the type of a woman who acts like a damsel in distress and gets men to do the job for her, gets other people to do the job for her. So now, when that happened, that's another thing. It's like there's A's and B's to the psychoanalyzation of this. You know how some people have a title and then they think, just because I have a title, I'm going to use that title to get authority where it's not warranted. So then the manager of the hotel takes on the role of, hey, I need to see your phone. When, dude, you're just the hotel manager. What the hell? Why would I be thinking that you have the authority to see my phone, not only on your behalf, but on some other random girl's behalf who is accusing me of stealing her phone? So it's like, that's what some women do. And in this instance, that's what a lot of white women do. They cry as if something has happened so bad, so egregious to them, and they need help. And now, oh, I'm so helpless. I need somebody to help me. So now she's putting the manager up to do her dirty work. And that's what women of old have done through the years, through generations. They've created scenarios where, oh, the black man did something wrong to me. Go get him, go arrest him, go hang him. That's why Emmett Till is dead now, because a woman lied and said that he looked at her wrong. And so it happens all the time. That's what happened in the instance of, was it Central Park Karen, who called the police on the man I forgot his name, but you know what I'm talking about. It would happen the same weekend that George Floyd's modern day lynching happened, Memorial Day weekend 2020, that she called and said, a man is attacking me. A black man is attacking me in the park and I'm with my dog. I need the police to hurry up and get here. They lie, they scream as if they are so aggrieved and they're so hurt, and now they need a white man to come and save them. So this SoHo Karen, Maya Pacetto, we're looking for you. If you know where she is, call that Crime Stoppers number, because they need to charge her with assault. She did that same thing. It's just a modern day way of doing it. So she gets this manager to come over and put his authority of being a manager of the lobby to try to force this black man and his son to show them the phone. Well, what happened was they were surprised that this black man was not afraid and stood up for him and his son. And I commend him for that, for showing his son you don't have to just do what people tell you because they said you did something wrong. And so that's the first lie that she told. The second lie that Soho Karen told is she said that she was assaulted by them, which is not the case because clearly the video shows she tackled a 14-year-old boy because they were walking away of their own free will like they had a right to do. And she wanted them to stay put because she couldn't find her phone because she can't think from 5 minutes to the next to realize maybe I left my phone in the Uber that I just got out of. By the way, you probably know the story, but if you don't, the Uber driver showed up minutes later with the woman's phone. And she didn't even apologize for accusing them of stealing her phone. So that's two things. Psychoanalyzing Soho Karen. So something else that was revealed by Soho Karen's behavior was the fact that when she accused this black teenager of theft, she did so because she didn't believe that a black teenager could afford to have the phone that she had. That's really what was going on. That's why she accused the teenager to begin with, because that goes back to when police officers stop black people from driving on the street. And they say things like, is this your car? What do you do for a living? What do you do to get this car? Because they assume that you're doing something illegal. They assume that you're a drug dealer. They assume that you're doing something that you don't have any business doing. And so they stop you and ask you all sorts of questions, trying to see if they can find out more information because the car that you're driving is probably more expensive than the car that they drive. And that just cannot be reality. That's not their reality, that a black person in America is a hard worker and makes money and can afford the same stuff that they can afford and probably can afford things that they cannot afford. So that's also what was going through Soho Karen's mind, aka Maya Pacetto. We're looking for you. Call the Crime Stoppers number if you know where she is. Call the DA's office in Manhattan, okay? Because there are a lot of people in America who feel like they're okay with black people being around and having jobs subservient to jobs that they wouldn't want. It's okay, but have a job that they think you don't deserve for whatever reason. Have a job, have nice things, smell good, look good, drive a nice car, live in a nice neighborhood, have manners, speak well, know how to read. They got a problem with that. Stop sharing. So at any rate, I remember when I was at work once and I was reading a book and why is it that every time you're reading a book, I'm reading a book, most people think I must be in college. I can't just be reading a book because I like to read. That's one of those things that happens to black people as well, since I'm on the subject. Why is it that when I'm in a store shopping, people always assume that I'm at work and that I'm not shopping like they're shopping? Why is that? Why is it that when I'm in a restaurant, people think, oh, I must work at the restaurant. I couldn't just be at the restaurant having a meal like they're having a meal. This happens to black people all the time. So, dear white people, we have good jobs. We have nice things. We like to eat at nice restaurants. We can afford the same things that you can afford and probably can afford more than you can afford if we were better stewards of our money. But that is a whole nother subject. I'm staying on this subject. The whole thing is that You have to work that out within yourself to think that Black people can't afford the same stuff you do. That's on you to work that out in your mind. We're moving on with ourselves, with our lives. And that leads me to another thing. Trying to make sure I'm staying on point. That leads me to another thing, that when they tried to leave, when the father and the teenager tried to leave, because again, according to the father's video, they came down on the elevator, going through the lobby to leave to go to breakfast or brunch. And they got stopped, accosted, tackled, assaulted on their way out. Now, when SoHo Karen initially came to them and said, "Hey, that's my phone," and they addressed it and said, "No, it's not, and we're not showing it to you. And by the way, why don't you try find my iPhone?" He even told her, gave her some ideas. "Why don't you do something else besides think that we stole your phone?" Then she got upset because they didn't want to stand there and appease her any longer, that they were on their way. So some white people are under the impression that Black people have to engage you, that we have to acknowledge you in every situation, especially if you're being nasty and overbearing and assuming the wrong thing. You're going to get ignored, and possibly some other physical stuff might happen, but I don't condone violence. I'm just saying, don't don't think that you are owed anything because you are white and I'm not, because that's where you're going to go far left. Examples of that. Recently, there was a real estate agent in Northern Virginia who was sitting in his car waiting for his client to arrive because she wanted to sell her home in this white neighborhood. It was a white client. He was sitting in the car minding his business. He wasn't parked illegally, nothing like that. One of the neighbors, I guess, no Black people live over there or something. I'm not sure why this white man approached the Black man, real estate agent, minding his own business, Northern Virginia, and said, "Hey, can I help you find something?" The real estate agent said, "No, I'm fine. Thank you," and kept doing what he was doing. Do you know they started checking around? "Hey, somebody in the car? Do you know that guy?" No, somebody in the car. So they got to comparing notes, this white neighbor and some other white neighbors. Ended up calling the police on the guy who was just sitting in his car. Lied to the police and said, "I saw him taking pictures of the military installation that's down the street." Lied to get the police to show up, just like so many people do. Most of the time it's white women or just white people in general, but it ends up, lately being white women, and we call them Karens. And that's where the phrase Karen comes from. Karen always calling the police about something that has nothing to do with anything that should be police involved, which is why there should be a 911. There should be a statute that says if you call 911 or you call the police on something that's not a true crime, that you believe to be a true crime, you need to be charged with one. And so going back to this Northern Virginia issue. So the guy, the real estate agent, his client finally shows up. He goes into the house, or he's sitting in his car about to go into the house. They come, the police show up, start asking him questions, wanting to see his ID. His client, a white client, comes out and says, "What's going on? This is my real estate agent," and essentially had to vouch for the guy that he was there for a legitimate reason. Really, white people, this is what y'all do. There was another issue that I'm going to think of in a minute. But in the meantime, let's go back to SoHo Karen. So she got upset because they didn't want to stay put while she figured out where her phone was, while she came up with some type of reason why they should show her the phone. And so It's not 1921 people. It is 2021 people. We don't have to carry our freedom papers and do what white people tell us to do. We have the right to move about just like you have the right to move about as an American citizen. And so get over it, people. Get over it. Also, here's what I've been seeing in the blogs about this. Some people are saying, well, all they had to do was show her the phone. They don't have to show her the phone, especially since she had a funky attitude and she was accusing them of stealing the phone. I want to say call her a name, but I'm trying to be nice and make it, palatable for everyone to listen. But how you gonna walk up on me and accuse me of stealing your phone, and then I'm supposed to be nice about it? That's not gonna happen. So at this point, a lot of people are saying all they had to do was show her the phone, and then it would have been a non-issue. But that's not you don't handle it that way. In fact, let me ask you this: if the roles were reversed, if Karen was staying in the hotel and she came downstairs and was trying to leave, and there was a black man in the lobby, had lost his phone, and he said, "Hey, I need you to show me your phone. I need you because you stole my phone." Would you be saying, if Karen would just show him the phone, everything would be okay? No, you wouldn't say that. You would say, how dare him to walk up on her like that? How dare her? Because Karen would have started crying, and Karen would have said, "Oh, I'm just so hurt. You think I stole your phone?" She would have started crying, and the manager would have been on her side instead of being on. See, and that's another point I wanted to make. The manager should have been on the side of the people who were renting a room in his hotel. Or just be on the side of right, for God's sakes. Ma'am, I can't make them show you the phone. They just came downstairs. They seem like nice people. They staying here. You know what I'm saying? But no, he immediately took the side of the enforcer for Karen, and both of them ended up looking like fools on video. So before y'all start doing stuff, remember, somebody's always watching, like they said on that movie. Somebody always watching, and you just want to present yourself in the best light. So that's one thing. And then I went back to my thought, and then I forgot my other thought. But let me say this. I know what I was going to say. And I did say it. If the shoe was on the other foot, if it was a black man who approached a white Karen and was trying to force her to show the phone to him, y'all would have a problem with it. Now, he better not put his hands on Karen. If Karen was trying to walk out the door and go to meet her girlfriends in Soho, and he was like, "I'm not letting you leave," and he tackled her, oh my God. Y'all would have sent the damn SWAT team. I cursed, I apologize. Y'all would have sent the SWAT team to his apartment, to his address, to serve a warrant. And God knows, forbid, what probably would have happened in that instance, because we know what y'all do with these SWAT teams, with these no-knock search warrants over a phone that Karen said. You see what I'm saying? You see how that's how it starts. It starts with something as insignificant as a phone or a question or an issue, and y'all escalate it when it's a black person on the end. But when it's a Karen, when it's a SoHo Karen, it just could have been handled differently. Well, Karen should handle herself differently in the future. And for all you wannabe Karens out there, for all you people out there who are looking at this, and you just feel some kind of way about it, for the future, think about things before you do them and say it out loud. If you the next time, because we know it's going to happen, because I just lost my phone today earlier, and I didn't accuse anybody of stealing it. I was like, I try to keep my things together. I try to have a plan, but sometimes things get separated and I get to looking, because it could be a whole, dozens of places. And I don't want to get too far away from where I last saw it before, I try to start looking for it. I just try to be, okay, it was right here a few minutes ago. And there it was like a few seats away. So the next time, Karen, you lose your phone, or Bob, the next time you lose your phone, just think, where was the last time I saw it? Don't be so quick to be an alarmist and start accusing people of being thieves when you just are so absent-minded that you can't even keep up with your stuff. So that's it. I talked about the real estate agent, and I wanted to see if I had another example. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to end with this one. We also read about the Black woman doctor who died of COVID a few days before Christmas. And she had done a video talking about the poor treatment that she felt like she was getting at the hospital, University North Hospital, and how the doctor that she was talking with, that was assigned to her, told her, oh, you're not that sick. You don't have that much sickness in your lungs. And then when she told him she was sick and she needed some pain medication, the nurse took hours before coming back. After she passed, the hospital administrator dogged the lady, talked about how she was intimidating to the staff, to the nursing staff, and that's what really was going on. She was just intimidating. So you mean to tell me you're a professional nurse and a professional doctor in these pandemic times, and you've not had a patient to want you to pay attention to them, that they just intimidated you so much? So I'm sure it has happened. But what is happening in that instance is, when a Black person stands up for their rights, when they know what they should be getting, white people got a problem with that when you stand up for yourself. They want you to just be so subservient like in every situation. Whether they're accusing you of being a thief, you're supposed to be subservient like. Whether you're a doctor, a physician in a hospital where you know the standards of care are not being met, and you voice your opinion, now you're a problem. They want you to be subservient. Now, that's the whole thing. Whether y'all don't think that Black people can afford anything nice, and you don't think we should stand up for ourselves when you accuse us of things that are not true. And so let this be a lesson to everyone involved. Treat people the way you would want them to treat you. I would say to that doctor, hospital administrator, how would you like it if your mother or your family member was in the hospital and you and a doctor of theirs told them, you ain't sick, you ain't that sick? How would you, nurse, like it if your family member was in the hospital and they were sick and they needed care and they asked for pain medication and the nurse assigned to them didn't come back for 4 or 5 hours? Would that be okay with you? Because I don't think it would be okay with you. So for you to do that to someone else, regardless of who it is, it just shows your lack of empathy. And that's not, people are going to speak up for themselves. People speak up for themselves. So treat people the way you want to be treated. and think before you speak, and think before you treat people a certain way. And that's all I got for you today. So if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. So the next time I post, mostly on Sundays, you'll be the first one to know. And to find out more about the things that I care about, go to the written version of my journal. It's at eurweb.com. Thanks and have a super day. So my bra strap showing is down. Good. It's okay. Y'all know I wear bras, right? Holding up some stuff.